So welcome everybody and our 3 listeners to Dungeon Crawl Classics, hosted by Blades and Blasters, the fan club, no less. This is going to be the first time I'm aware of anybody at Blades and Blasters running Dungeon Crawl Classics. It is my first time running it too. It's not an overly complicated system. There's a ton of randomness and unpredictability in it. That's part of its charm. You can put that in quotes if you want. I think it's pretty cool. What we're going to do tonight, this is a one-shot. It's called a funnel adventure. The idea of a funnel, this is standard in DCC, is that each player creates a handful of 0-level common people. They're very squishy and have no particular talents. They don't have an adventuring class yet. This is sort of answering the question, what did you do before you became an adventurer or died trying to become an adventurer? So you'll be creating 4 such characters tonight, 3 of whom are currently available and one of whom has been abducted. And part of what you're trying to do tonight is go rescue your 4th character. That's sort of like your mission. You'll see the setup, but that's what's going on. So we're going to basically go through character creation, which is very quick. I have set up some macros to make this a quick and easy process, a guided process. There is very little, if any, choice when creating characters. You're simply rolling 3 dice 6 for the 6 standard D&D style attributes in order, and you get what you get. You don't pick where they go. You get 1 die 4 hit points modified by your constitution. You get some random starting equipment and an occupation and a name. The name is the one thing you can change. If you want, if you don't like the random name you get. You also will choose an alignment, which tonight really isn't all that important. And then we start the game. So why I'm doing this is my kind of nostalgic trip back to playing D&D in the late 70s and early 80s. The system is a little more modern than old school D&D, but it tries to recreate that feel of wonder and uncertainty that was kind of the hallmark of playing back then, where players really didn't know exactly what was going on. The judge or DM had to make a lot of judgment calls and rulings rather than referring to rules. And a lot of crazy stuff could happen. And creatures didn't always behave the way you expected them to. So there's supposed to be a lot of surprises in it. Recreate that feel of, a new thing all over again, not we're all familiar with everything, which is pretty modern, I think. So, are there any questions about kind of what we're doing tonight? I'm happy to answer. Otherwise, I'll take us into character generation in a minute here.
You want to introduce everybody to everybody?
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Dr. Riesmog, also known as Gru the Wanderer, also has a real name that I'm not sure he wants me to divulge.
I think I am Darren's 2nd player he ever recruited. That's my distinction. About it.
I think you mean for role playing?
Yep.
Oh, no, you're definitely the first.
Sarah came first.
No, I don't think so. I don't think we ever.
She play tested before I got it.
Oh, yep. I used my sister as a guinea pig, of course. Slip.
I am Slip. I play with Blades and Blasters, which is where I know Darren from, and I'm his favorite.
That might be true.
Of course, it's true. Anyway.
You're certainly Gavigan's favorite.
Looking forward to tonight. Yeah. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
So this is very different from anything we've been doing on B&B, so I'm psyched to to die. It's been a long time since I did a real dungeon crawl grind.
All right, Demi.
Hey, how's it going? It's your boy. Doing things as always, you know. I'm ready to kick it off.
Okay. All right. Yeah, this is the first time I've gamed with Demi, so it's kind of exciting.
We have been in this group together for about 3 years now.
Yep.
We've maybe had 10 sentences between us. So we'll find out.
Yes. So hopefully we'll at least double that tonight. That's my goal. Grun.
Hey, I'm Grun. I'm your friendly neighborhood lurker of Discord. I come in and out, do my own thing, and I think I've played with Flip, and that's really about it. So I don't really know any of you guys, but I'm really happy to be here. I'm excited.
Well, great. We're happy to have you. And Timothy G. in the house.
What? There are those who call me Tim.
That's true. That's what we usually call him.
Usually do, yeah. It's 'cause my name.
Except when he's in trouble.
Timothy!
Yeah. Yes.
I've known Darren since 8th grade and Walter a little bit after, I think. And, I think I might be the third or fourth person he recruited.
Yep, most likely.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, here we are. So this, as I said, this is a one-shot. I'm playing by a slightly house-ruled rule about leveling up. Many people that run funnels basically run people through the end of the funnel, and then the characters automatically advance to first level. You will not be getting to first level tonight. You'll hopefully accomplish your mission. If we like this and want to have a follow-on, like a second one-shot where you are first level and continue, that's fine. That could very well happen. There is the possibility of a large West, what do you call it?
Marches.
West Marches campaign. I have been plotting using this possibly, but we'll see how that goes. So let's get to character creation, which I was lucky to have both Gru at one point and Slip test out for me, so this should be working pretty well. If you look here, you will see that you have several characters. What is that guy doing there for? That's weird. Does everybody see the tester guy? Or am I the only one?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay. Weird. Okay. So you each have 4 characters with your names 1 through 4. You're going to create each one in sequence. So pick your first guy and we'll walk through character creation together. Okay, so let's jump into the backdrop for this. So this is a rather famous published adventure called Sailors on the Starless Sea. I have modified it slightly. But here's the situation. Since time immemorial, you and your people have toiled in the shadow of the Cyclopean ruins. Of mysterious origin and the source of many a superstition, they have always been considered a secret best left unknown by the folk of your hamlet. But now something stirs beneath the crumbling blocks. Beast men howl in the night, and for weeks your fellow villagers have been disappearing. Last night, several people were snatched from their beds in what are becoming increasingly audacious midnight raids. With no heroes to defend you, it has fallen to you, the frightened remnant of a near-extinct settlement, to rescue your comrades and put a stop to these depredations. You stand before the ruined keep, which squats atop a low, craggy hill, its walls of toppled stone and massive granite blocks hinting at forgotten battles and the clash of mighty armies. Now the ruins seem host only to creeping vines and the foul miasma that drifts down from the keep. The air is overrun with pestilence. There's an odor of rot and decay, as if the hill itself were decomposing from within. Somewhere behind those walls, your friends, family, and neighbors are held captive, or worse. It's mid-morning, and you don't know how much time you've got. Better not dawdle. A sight gives you momentary pause. A ragged banner depicting a crimson skull on a black field stands atop the ruined walls. But you've all sworn an oath to one another and to your missing people to put an end to all of this, or die in the attempt. You turn to your companions and ready your meager weapons. The time for retribution has come. Your goal is to discover the fate of the missing villagers and free them if that is possible. If you can also put an end to the source of the area's recent depredations, that is a bonus goal that will get you some bonuses. The equipment in this is normal, so you got what you rolled. Some funnels might be different. So before we jump right in, though, each of you is going to get a random rumor that you have heard. This is not each character, this is each player. So one of your characters or your group of characters has heard something. And so what I want you to do is, in turn, and we'll start with Riesmog and go left to right, roll a 10-sided die, and I will add that rumor to your journal. All right, number 2 goes to Riesmog. So if you look in your handouts section under Sailors on the Starless Sea, you'll see rumor number 2.
Okay, I'm not coming anymore.
Slip. Well, already the Gorgons are expressing their reluctance to proceed.
So it's cowards.
All right, Slip, you have received some a rumor. Demi. Ooh, number 10. 10 must be the best, because that's the highest number. And you've received yours, and Grun is 5. All right. Whoops. And I have added yours. And finally is Timothy.
Also
Yay!
5. Roll again. I don't want to have duplicates. That's no fun. All right, number 1. Okay. Those are your rumors. So now I'm going to this because there's so many of you. This is going to look a little crazy at first, but we'll tighten it up. I'm going to put you on the map. And then I'm going to let you rearrange yourselves. And we are down near the bottom. So I'll let you guys kind of move your guys around in however you imagine your mob of people is going to be. As you approach, you can see the castle walls not far up ahead.
Where'd your headshots come from, guys?
You just need to hit the multi-sided, do a right click, and then do choose side, and you can go through it.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool. Awesome.
So you guys are finding yourself on an old dirt road. That's what leads up to this abandoned or once abandoned castle, or once thought abandoned castle. The road itself is also kind of overgrown with weeds and sickly vines. There is up ahead, the first thing that grabs your attention, just after seeing the kind of awe-inspiring stone ruins, is there's this tree in the sort of on your way up towards the entrance to the castle. And at first you're not really sure what it is that's strange about it, but as you get closer, you can see there's a pair of bodies. It appears that they're hanging from the tree, but it's actually not hanging like by a rope. It seems to be like they're dangling or twisted up in the limbs of the tree. It's your so describe what you're planning to do. So here's how I want to do this with all of these crazy number of people. It's sort of customary in a funnel to spread your people out a little bit so that, say, one person isn't all at the front or all at the back, because that makes it, difficult for people to do anything. So it looks like maybe Joanna is moving up first. Who's kind of in the lead here?
Joanna would probably try to get toward the front at least. She has a woodsman's axe slung across her shoulder.
Okay, is there anybody who is not okay with her taking the lead, or does everybody just sort of fall in behind her lead?
All right for leading?
I would like to stand by the front, please.
Joanna turns back, looking at the tree. I have never seen this before. I heard that some of the villagers have returned as feral animals, but I have never heard of... She points to the tree. A tree that eats people?
Oh, I thought they were growing as fruit.
Well, as you get closer, I can see you're moving a little closer. You actually see that they are, in fact, kind of the tree's limbs and branches have grown through the people, and they're all twisted up in it. They're obviously dead, but you recognize that these are two villagers that had disappeared about a week ago, named Marcus and Klaus.
Klaus? My friend Klaus?
Yes, your friend Klaus. And you can see that they're still sort of wearing their clothes, but their clothes have faint blood stains on them, and they're very grimy and grubby. You see on Klaus's belt, he's still wearing a short sword. So, Joanna, you're sort of leading the group. It looks like maybe you're just going to kind of go around the tree and keep your distance, or is anyone going to inspect any of this?
I think Joanna might get a little closer upon seeing that there's a sword in one of their hands.
Okay.
I know we are not all well armed. If we could get this sword, that might...
Hold on, we can't just leave him there. Doesn't seem like a right answer. Should at least take him off the tree.
Is there any way to recognize what kind of tree this is? I believe I'm an herbalist.
You are an herbalist. Ah.
These two.
This tree is unlike any tree you have ever seen. There is something very wrong with this tree.
I will say there's nothing wrong with that tree. Do not approach. At least be cautious.
Someone should give me a hand so we can get their bodies down. They don't deserve to be up there.
I'll also give him a hand. Doesn't want to see the carcasses on there anymore.
Joanna will come forward with her axe.
Okay.
Wielded before her. I don't think this is a great idea, but
as you approach, the tree actually starts to shake. How do you react to that? It's like there's a strong breeze, but you feel no breeze.
I was
I
get
think-
scared. Sorry, go.
I think that when she's close enough that there's a branch that's within arm's reach, she's gonna take a whack at.
Okay. I'm going to let you do that. And as you are doing that, the tree's limbs start to move. Not very fast, but they are starting to undulate and move around. And the bodies are kind of getting pulled along with them. So if you can... You kind of have an opportunity. It's slow enough. You can either step back when you see that, or you can take that next step forward and take a swipe at it. It's up to you.
I think Joanna's gonna try to take a swipe.
Okay, so go ahead and do your hand axe. Let's see what happens. You hit the tree, and your axe takes a nice, solid. It gets buried in it pretty easily. Were you aiming for a thin branch or kind of a more thicker part of the tree? Like, what was your intent here?
How far out of reach are the bodies?
They're like here and here.
I think she would probably start trying to clear branches closest to the closest body. So, not a twig, but, not probably the thickest branch either. Something that she could whack off probably with one good one.
Okay. Well, then you've cut through a one of the limbs. So that breaks away. And kind of in response, it seems, the body starts to slump forward like the tree is letting go of it.
Somebody grabs a body.
Yeah. Okay. Fletcher's gonna go run and try to grab at least one of them.
Okay. You can move yourself up next to the tree. Okay, so you kind of rush forward to catch the falling body. And I'm going to ask you to make an intelligence check for me. So what you do is do a trained ability and then do intelligence. Okay, so you're catching the body, and you what's your intent? Are you trying to pull it away from the tree? It does kind of fall into your arms.
Yeah, we gotta get these guys out of there.
Okay, so you start pulling the body away, and the body itself, the body starts to move, and you don't notice it until it's kind of too late. Like, you're pulling the body away. Johanna and who's that nearby? Ellis. They're the ones that would first see this body moving. And in fact, what happens is the arms kind of come up, and you can see Ellis and Joanna see this, but STN doesn't quite see it yet. Around where the wrist would be, it's like a long, ropey twig or vine or something. That's kind of what you see real, and those come up and start to wrap themselves around STN. And meanwhile, STN's just kind of hurriedly pulling it along and doesn't even quite realize what's happening. So what do you guys do?
Joanna would point and say, "STN, it's an abomination. Drops a body."
We can't just leave him here.
No, drop it. Drop it now.
What does STN do?
No, he's sticking to his guns. No way. He's not leaving his brother.
All right. So you as you guys stand there, he's pulling the body away, and the vines start wrapping themselves very rapidly around STN. And STN, you can start to feel it constricting you. And you feel your chest being crushed.
He's gonna yell out in pain a little bit, like gasping air leaving his lungs as his ribs are being crushed. Look of shock on his face, really. He didn't expect this.
Yeah, I don't think he did. All right, is anybody doing anything? He is being crushed.
Yeah, Joanna would try to chop at the vines.
I'll go in with the assist as well with Ellis.
Okay, so what we'll do is we'll enter an initiative order here. The way we want to do this is whoever is closest of your characters to this plant person, whatever, for lack of a better word to call them, do an initiative roll. So that should be just basic initiative unless you have a two-handed weapon. If you have a two-handed weapon, do initiative 2H. And we'll add you to the turn order. So all of your people will go when your one character goes. I don't want to fill up the turn order with with a million different people. That'll start getting ridiculous fast.
So obviously I'm being wrapped up. I do have a two-handed weapon, so should I roll normal initiative or two-handed initiative? It's not like I have it on me. I'm trying to hold the ball.
Yeah, if you're not wielding it, then just do normal. Okay, so Joanna, you're trying to respond, but the crushing is going to happen first. So give me 1 second. I actually want to turn that off. Okay, so it doesn't actually have to roll for hit. It just does damage because it's already grasped onto you. That's part of its thing. So you take 2 hit points of damage. So you guys watch SDN's chest just kind of collapse, and he cries out in great agony.
Losing both of his 2 hit points.
Yes. Okay, and so the when that happens, the plant begins to just kind of release him as soon as it's crushed him. It's sort of actually it's the vines all crush so hard they sort of start to crack and grind their way through his flesh, and part of him starts to like fall out pieces of him start falling out as they're mushed up. Ellis, what is Ellis doing?
Alice sees this and then howls for revenge to strike at the evil ent with the short sword.
Okay. You can. So you do your short sword. You're stepping up. Do your short. Did you not add your short? Did you say Ellis has a short sword?
Yeah, it's not on the macro. I clicked it, but let me check.
Did you make it a token action or a macro action?
Macro.
Yeah,
And it should be at the bottom.
You generally want it as a token action. That's the easiest way to do it, especially since you have 3 characters. Otherwise, you're going to get them confused because it's going to be looking for you to have a selected character. Eva Ent.
It's on the bottom right there, so I just click it.
Yeah, you can do that too, but I think you have to select your token. I'll also add it there for you.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Oh, I don't even see Ellis has a short sword at all. Are you sure it's Ellis that has the short sword?
Pretty sure.
Yeah, none of yours have them enabled, so let's see. Aiden.
Yeah, it's a short sword. I'll enable it right now.
Yeah, I don't see any of your guys have anything, so yeah, you can fix that if you remember what they got.
Alright, sorry about that.
No, it's fine. It's...
Okay, so I have it clicked on,
And then you just click short sword and it'll do the attack. It's going to ask you what die to use. We're using 20-sided die at this point. Later, when your characters go up in levels or have certain penalties, the dice can actually go up or down. They use 16-sided dice and 14-sided dice and 24-sided dice, but for now it's 20.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay.
Do I have to put a modifier, or is it
No,
automatic?
it's unless I give you a modifier, you don't need to do a modifier. It's just there as an option if there is one. Okay, so you swing your short sword or thrust it, probably swing it since it's a tree thing. But it is the vine arms are now starting to kind of swing around, and it throws off your aim, and you just barely miss. In response, one of the vines lashes out at you.
Do I dodge that?
No, it's an attack with a 16-sided die. Well, unfortunately, yeah. So it's actually not hitting you for damage, though. It is grabbing you. So you attack and miss, and its vine wraps around you and kind of pulls you in and to crush you against its chest now. But it hasn't happened yet. But you all kind of see Ellis got in close to the vine and missed, and then it wrapped itself around him. Do your other characters want to do something?
Yeah, but I thought you said you only wanted like one.
No, I just roll initiative for one, but then when you go, you can tell me what your other characters are doing.
Oh, got you. Okay. Adewin's gonna move up, but I don't know if he's gonna be able to do anything about it. He's gonna yell at Ellis to watch out.
Okay, so
Melby's way too far, but she's gonna move up and see what's going on.
yeah, she can hear there's some bad stuff happening. Okay, Fedian, you're right next to STN as you see him kind of starting to get jelloed.
I will step forward and take a swing at the branch that is holding him to try to smash it.
Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead, and it looks like you have a club. Swing your club.
A club! Okay, 1d20, submit, there we go. Attack modifier?
Mm-hmm. No attack modifier. No.
Uh-huh.
Oh, very nice. So you strike the left-hand vine as it's crushing through him, and you actually break off part of the vine, and you see the face of Klaus kind of turn to you and give you this kind of silent, looks like a silent scream of pain, but no sound comes out of his mouth. And the body of SDN just kind of falls away.
I got Gerd right here too. We'll grab SDN and pull him away a little bit further.
Okay. Yeah, he's coughing and sputtering up blood. He's like still barely alive, but Gerd can take one quick look at him and he can see that he's basically been practically disemboweled. He's not going to make it. Is Hob doing anything?
Hob is going to continue to move forward and keep his distance.
Okay. All right, Joanna.
All right, Joanna is going to take another whack at it.
Okay. Oh.
Let's look at this.
No such luck. And the other vine kind of swings up in response to your miss, but Fenian striking it kind of sets it off balance a little bit, and you kind of easily, well, maybe not so easily, but you're able to kind of duck out of the way of the branch as it swings nearby. But you can see that just from what has transpired, this thing, whatever it is highly responsive. When you get close to it, it seems to start kind of flailing. So it's kind of dangerous to even approach it.
Gotcha.
Deirdre or Brutrina doing anything?
Deirdre is just kind of moving forward, but she's kind of clutching her pony's bridle a little helplessly. But Brutrina is going to charge toward the tree. I don't know how far she can.
Technically, you have about a 30-foot movement, unless you're a dwarf or halfling, which only have 20.
A dwarf.
Yeah, so it's supposed to be about 20 feet, so about like that. Or if you're running and doing nothing else, you can do double that. I'm not going to get overly...
All right, she'll make it to about here.
Yeah, I don't want to be overly rulesy about exactly how many feet. So if it feels too much, I'll let you know.
And as she's running, she's reaching into her pack and pulling out a bottle.
Okay. All right. Well, we know SDN is gone. He expires. But you have his. I don't know. Is that his brother SDN or his father? Is it?
Not
Is
even
it?
related.
Is it SDN? They're not even related. My goodness.
Yeah. SDN Fletcher is currently in his deathbed, pretty much. SDN Brom, however, they'll see the commotion going on, hear that scream, that death scream from the other SDN. Maybe secretly he's happy now he's the only one, but he'll rush forward anyways. What he said, 25 or whatever.
Yeah. Are you're gonna just like kind of push through people?
I guess I get around here, right? What do I have on me? I am a confidence artist. Okay.
You should be telling other people that to go up there, that there's loot to be had or something.
I'm gonna go right to the other SDN, and I'm going to attempt to resuscitate him. You know,
Okay.
with not really. I'm just gonna look over his body for anything I could steal off of him.
All right.
And I know I have a spear and a hen. So while everyone's distracted with the beast, and I'm pretending to be helping him, I'm be taking his.
And what is your hen doing, by the way? It's
Oh,
not.
no,
It's not a
yeah.
magic hen. It's just a normal old hen. So
That was a hen. That was with the other SDN. It's probably run off.
Oh, okay. Well, it's probably running around crazily, clucking, running between everybody's legs as everyone's kind of trying to move around and not step on it.
SDN will say to SDN, "You're gonna make it." Obviously, knowing that he's dead and stealing his spear. That's what he's gonna do.
Okay. Yep.
Napoleon over here is gonna just hobble his way towards everyone.
Okay. Awesome.
That's all we can do, really.
All right. Well, SDN can add a spear to his to his weapons then. Oh, what's this?
Hey! Good!
And if he has, I think SDN must have something, or maybe he doesn't have anything other than the chicken.
Here's an empty flask.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, you can pocket that too if you want. I mean, you know.
A living SDN will think he's very lucky, got a free drink, and then he'll take the flask, but nothing in it.
Hey, you'll at least have something to drink. All right, it is the Gorgons. All right, you're moving that way. You can see that the tree is releasing the other fellow, Marcus, and Marcus is starting to kind of, I don't know if you'd call it like wake up or something, but he seems to be starting to move of his own accord, but slowly, like as if from a sleep. As the branches kind of all start pulling out, like you can see that the tree was limbs and vines were all kind of threaded in and out of his body, and they're all pulling away with kind of this little splooky kind of noise, and releasing him, and he kind of staggers forward.
After vomiting from hearing that description, I throw my dagger.
Okay. I'd say he's too busy vomiting to hit. Your dagger just kind of sails by. What does High Gorgon do for a living?
High Gorgon is a courtesan.
He is? Oh, there you go. Nice.
Take that!
Take that, you. You big meanie. All right. Are Middle and Low Gorgon doing anything besides gawk?
Maybe try to move to get to a point where they could get around people.
Okay. All right, we are back to these walking plant things. Ellis, he is going to try to crush you. I want you to try to make a saving throw using your strength against his roll. So let's see what he gets. He got a 12. You need a 12 saving throw with strength to resist being crushed by this.
Okay. Where is the...
So what you need to do is do saving throw. So select your token, click saving throw, and choose strength for the throw in the chat window.
So you're saying it's in the chat window?
Yeah,
then...
so you click SDN, or Ellis, sorry, then click saving throw for, there's a macro for saving throw. And that,
top?
Yep, and then you're going to see in the chat window all the different saving throws you can make. All right, so I'm sorry, so I'm getting my game. So actually it's, sorry, not saving throw, it's strength, my bad. You have to match your strength against it, so do strength. I just ran a 5e game recently, and I'm getting all the stupid saving throws mixed up. Sorry.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
So it's fortitude.
No, do trained ability. It's my bad. I'm sorry. I'm getting you all confused now. It's trained ability and strength.
Oh, okay, got you. All right. And then no bonus or anything like that.
No,
right?
it's gonna put your strength bonus in, but you don't have to do that manually. There's no additional modifiers.
Gotcha. Here we go. Whoa.
You hold it off. You're kind of like fighting with it as it's struggling to try to crush you. You're kind of lucky it only has one arm wrapped around you, or you feel like there'd be no way you could resist this thing. And with the other arm, it's going to continue to lash out at you, Joanna. So let's see if it hits you.
I broke the other arm off.
No, you didn't break the whole arm off. You took a part of it off. You hurt it.
Okay.
It's not completely without an arm. So that strikes you, Joanna, and hits you for 1 hit point.
All right, I'll take that hit point off. She's still alive.
She's still alive. Meanwhile, down here, good old Marcus lurches forward. He's still sort of waking up a bit, so he only swipes with 1 vine at High Gorgon. But that's a strong hit, and High Gorgon takes 2 hit points of damage. So he smacks you right across the head, sidewise, and that sends High Gorgon kind of reeling back almost all the way into Brutrina as she was kind of rushing up to see what's going on, and it continues to lurch forward a little bit. Okay, Ellis.
Ellis is still locked up though with the.
He's kind of locked up. I mean, you can. What do you have in your hand?
A short sword.
You could attack with that. I'd give you a -1 for your attack because it is holding you and it's going to impede you a bit. But you can either try to do that. Or if you want to do another strength check this time to break free, I'll let you do that, and then you can break free and move away if that's what you want to do.
Can I try and cut off the limb that is holding me together, or it's super thick?
You're not going to hack it off with a short sword. It's a little too thick for that. But you can hack it and maybe do enough damage to make it to give you a chance to get out. I'd let you do that.
All right, I will do that. So Ellis is going to scream Bloody Mary and hack at that limb.
Okay, go ahead. Just a -1. So that would be... So you would put the -1 modifier in when it asks you. Oh, you just barely smack it. 2 damage. That's not enough to automatically get you free, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a free shot at it. It disrupts it a little bit, hurts it. Again, it kind of turns to you. You probably knew Klaus, and you see his own eyes look terrorized. Like you're so close and you can see into his eyes and you can see the pain and despair in his eyes, and he kind of does a silent scream into your face. But you kind of gather your thoughts and you can try to push away. So make a strength check for me, just straight up. Again, the trained ability strength. That's going to be good enough. You managed to pull yourself away, so you can disengage. Yeah, Ellis kind of comes crashing back into the crowd.
Yeah, he tumbles backward. Foul tree almost took me with that poor fellow over there. I don't know if I know Fletcher or not.
You would. I mean, this is a village. You would know everyone. So all of these people are known to you. Whether you like them or not, that's up to you. But everyone is known to everyone in this village. It's not that big a place. And you guys are almost you're the last able-bodied survivors of the village at this point. So,
All right.
Are either of your other two folks going to do something?
Ottowan's gonna throw his holy flask at that int and see what happens.
Okay. Go ahead and let's see.
He's an acolyte, so I don't know if he knows whether or not that actually work or not.
So what you can do is go into your I'll do it for you at this point, but there's an ability for improvised throne, and that's another weapon macro, and so now you have improvised throne, and you can use that to try to hit with.
Okay.
So go ahead and throw that at the plant.
So just short and then everything boom boom.
Yep. You hit it. And the glass shatters and the holy water kind of splashes everywhere. And this thing starts to twist, and its arms, the vines start flailing wildly. You're not sure if it's death throes or something, but it did something to it. And it obviously didn't like that. Is Melba doing anything?
Melba's gonna throw her dagger in hopes that might be the coup de grace.
Okay.
For Valiant.
All right, go ahead. Okay. And let me see if that fumble is correct. I didn't realize it would. Yes, that is. So what happens with when you roll a 1, you get a fumble on a table. So we have to look up and see what a 1. Oh, fortunately for you, and you get to your luck modifies it. And fortunately, you're very lucky. Melba's very lucky. So the result on the fumble table is your incompetent blow makes you the laughing stock of the party, but otherwise causes no damage. So you lucked out on that. You threw the dagger, and I would say narrowly missed Joanna, who was just thanking her lucky stars that she survived that last shot. The dagger whizzes right by her ear.
Melba just looked with her eyes wide open, like, oh, praise gods, that didn't hit.
Now Joanna might think you were actually trying to get back at her for that game of poker you beat her at last week, and using this as cover. Very clever. All right, Fenian.
This thing is flailing all over the place.
Yeah, right. I mean, you can go in, but it's dangerous to move close to this thing at the moment. That's your sense, but you do what you feel you should do.
If it wasn't flailing, I would. That kind of makes me step back a little bit.
Okay.
Let's see. odds a little bit further on.
All right. And Gerd kind of sees SDN tending to other SDN.
Two SDNs. I'm just really confused about this.
Well, it's going to be a lot easier after this.
Right, but still, who's taking what from whom? I'm just gonna let that one fester. I'm far enough away from the tree to not be hurt by it.
Okay. All right, Joanna.
All right, she's gonna try to take another whack at it.
Brave girl. I need you to make a reflex save of 10. If you succeed, a saving throw reflex. If you succeed, then you'll get to attack. If you fail, then it's going to actually, the flailing might hit you. Will make an attack.
Okay.
All right, so here's the flailing attack. I'm only giving it a die 16. Oh, a 3, and it fumbles. That kind of makes sense. It's flailing around like a crazy tree. And it says your weapon comes loose in your hand. You quickly grab it, but your grip's disrupted. -2 penalty. Okay, so the way I'm going, the way I'm going to interpret this, yes. So what happened was it Ellis who smacked its? No, it was you. Your character, Tim. Somebody smacked its wrist. And so it, with all its flailing, that whole vine just breaks off. So it's down a vine. And so you can follow up an attack now. So it tried to hit you, and you're not really quick, but lucky for you, the arm just kind of flies off before it actually. I mean, actually say it kind of hits you, but breaks and doesn't really hurt you that badly. Like you get a little bruise, but the arm breaks off the vine arm breaks off as a result. So you can go ahead.
All right.
Oh, that's a
kindling.
The woodsman.
Wow.
The woodswoman comes down with a mighty chop. Where are you chopping him?
Probably try to chop it wherever the neck is. I mean, who knows what these things are really vulnerable at, but that's her instinct.
Okay, so yeah, you chop it right in the back of the neck as it's flailing around, and the whole head kind of flops forward. And the whole plant thing just collapses onto the ground, but it keeps kind of doing these weird little death throw things.
She grimaces and starts to back up a little bit. I think it is dead. And Brutrina is going to run forward, and what she's going to try to do is append her flask of oil onto the base of the tree and then back up a little bit. And she wouldn't probably have time to light it this round, but
she definitely wouldn't.
She would say, somebody light the oil.
So you're kind of running past the plant here, throwing, or when you say append, what do you mean by that? Be a little more specific.
I mean, she's uncorked it.
Okay.
And she's just dumping it.
Oh, you're upending it. So you're kind of sprinkling the oil real quick on it. Okay. So go ahead and do a trained dexterity check for me. Oh yeah, you I'd say your adrenaline's going pretty strong, and you uncork that. You kind of slide past the plant person and start madly sprinkling oil on the base of the tree. And with a 15, I'll actually let you move a little further if you want to kind of move on after sprinkling.
Yeah, I actually think that she'd back up, if anything.
Okay.
Do we have to have a tinderbox to light that, Darren?
You got to have something that starts a fire, yeah.
This may be a long
"Didn't
wait."
Bring that.
Anyone have a tinderbox?
Anyway, I've got a torch, but it's not lit.
No, I will say, say
Okay.
this. If you have a torch, I'm going to assume you also have a means of lighting it. I'll be kind. Though I don't think I'm supposed to be kind.
Well, Regina has a flint shoulder, so she'll just strike a. That's her last name.
Yeah. So yeah, she's one of those people that can like light a match with her teeth and stuff like So yeah. But she does it with her shoulder, which is way cooler. All right, so Butrina does this crazy move and backs away. Is Giardra? I'm not sure how to pronounce her name. Giardra, what does she do? Anything?
She's just saying, we should flee to the castle.
Yes, let's flee to the really dangerous place. Yeah.
I'm sure it's better in there.
Nice. She seems like a sweet girl, which means she's gonna die really soon. All right, let's move to Demi's people.
Oh, Estienne, how could it be? To die so young, so noble. He's gonna go on a speech, really hamming it up.
While he's picking through his person.
Patting them down.
Yeah. Oh, he's patting him like, oh, my brother, my brave comrade. He's really patting him down to see if he's got anything in there. You're so brave.
So we're done with the tree, right? Light him. So.
Well, yeah, I don't know that it doesn't sound like he's paying all that much attention to the tree. He doesn't appear to be any immediate danger. That would be his sense.
He'll just continue doing him, and Napoleon's gonna walk on over. Yeah.
Hey, what
He was
up?
very far behind. He's finally caught up.
Is he very slow?
No. Is that a trait? Is that something like that?
Oh no, I just mean I'm just. It sounds like maybe you're kind of describing him as an older, maybe slower
very
guy.
Old beggar, the old beggar man.
Oh, he's the town beggar. Okay, cool. Does he beg Estienne for alms there?
Now he'll do a little prayer. You know, he's a little religious too.
Okay, cool.
He'll send off his compatriot.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it, really.
Maybe Estienne was kind to him once. Didn't.
He's a farmhand. You probably gave him some spare agriculture corn.
Yeah, yeah. Cool. Okay. It is the Gorgons. Poor High Gorgon has passed on.
I think he's a dwarf, so that's about as far as he can move.
If as long as he's not doing any other actions, he can do a double move. You can forfeit your attack and just decide to move further.
He'll come up here.
Okay. What about low? Or is it Lao?
It's low.
I don't want to make any assumptions. All right, what is low?
There you go. He's not doing anything.
He's just watching. Does he have that expression on his face, or he's just kind of, kind of glaring like you? He's just got that perpetual "you idiots."
You had to go to the tree.
Yeah, yeah. and then he just spits. Yeah. Okay. We've got this guy, this plant guy, whatever. He's down, and I think you're all kind of instinctively, unless you were gonna rush up to it to keep beating it. We're kind of standing back and watching it in its death throes, and as you watch, he's on his back. Now, he's kind of he's kind of twisting around and doing this kind of Blade Runner replicant thing almost. He's on his back now, and his chest begins to split open. And over here, this guy is fully awake now, and he's going to shamble forward, and one vine each is a gift for Butrina and Middle Gorgon. So I'm gonna see about a Butrina first as it swings around. That is going to be a hit. Fortunately for you, only 1 damage. And Middle Gorgon, so it catches you. I mean, it really hurts. These are strong, powerful arms. But fortunately, it only kind of catches you a little lighter than it might have. And for Middle Gorgon, here's your present. I think Middle Gorgon kind of knew it would be coming at him and was ready to to duck or something.
He's a dwarf. He naturally.
Yeah. Good old Marcus says, "I've always forgotten how small you are." All right, Ellis. What does Ellis do?
Dang. Are you saying the int right there is down, or
yes, it's on its back, and its sort of death throes are starting to slow down, but it's still moving around. And as you watched, you can see its chest such as it is, right? It's all kind of knotted and weird, but it starts to split, like right down the middle, like a chicken breast kind of thing. It's just you can hear the slurpy, crunching sounds as it kind of starts to split open.
Ellis is gonna see that happening, and he's gonna think that that's probably where its heart is at, and he's gonna go for it. He's gonna lunge for its heart, or its chest, its middle trunk, whatever you want to call it.
Okay, with his sword, his short sword.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. You're not even gonna have to roll; just roll, and you'll do damage. I mean, you can't miss this thing down on the ground. It's not trying to defend itself or anything. So, do an attack, and we'll just read the damage.
Okay.
So you get a pretty solid smack at this thing. And your sword kind of sinks down into it, and as that happens, you start to you kind of bury the tip of your sword down in it. It's a very satisfying feeling as you bury it. The chest continues to split open, and kind of to your horror, you see all these little. They look like grubs or cockroaches or something. They all start spilling out of his chest, and actually a few of them start to kind of slither up the blade of your short sword. What is Adwin doing, and Melba?
Adwin's kind of watching, and he's gonna tell Ellis to watch out that it's the roaches and the grubby stuff are coming up the sword.
Which he can see. I mean, he's like, no shit, I mean, you're looking right into the belly of the beast, as it were, and you see these things start to slide or slither up the blade and out and over his chest. As it's like a bunch of insects pouring out of it.
Oh man, Adwin's kind of gonna take a step back from Ellis, kind of in fear of like, what the hell is this? What is happening to this dude? And yeah, he's gonna take a few steps back behind Gerd.
Okay.
He's scared.
Yep. Go ahead. And what about Melba?
Melba's gonna throw a dagger at the other int to her left.
Okay. Go right ahead. Normal. Melba's toast, yeah. We'll see. She didn't already throw her dagger, right?
She threw one. So wait, is there only
Yeah,
one?
yeah, you only have one dagger. You're
Okay,
you're not a dagger machine.
Okay, never mind.
Did you hit with that dagger? I can't remember. I don't think you did.
No, I fumbled.
So yeah, you fumbled. Oh, well then your dagger is somewhere over here. You're not really sure exactly where. You might go try to find it later, but you don't have it right now.
Because I have one. I don't know if it counts, but there's one thrown and one melee. Is that all?
No, that's just so that you have the option of either one. It doesn't mean you have two daggers. Sorry if that was not clear.
No, that's okay. Seeing that she doesn't really have anything to do, Melba is also going to take a step back.
Oh, you can try beating on it with your fist. You have an unarmed attack.
I'd rather not, sir.
Yeah.
Melba's gonna be. Melba says, "Yeah, she's just gonna take a step back. That's too much.
Okay.
It's too horrible."
All right. You're not gonna do you brute. Go up to it and start. All right. No. All right. Fenian. Fenian's folk.
Finian spoke. He just saw the thing split open and the bugs come out.
Yes.
Can I identify what kind of bugs these are? Or are they real?
What is his profession again? His occupation?
Herbalist.
An herbalist. Oh. It's not exactly an insectalist, but I'll give you a trained intelligence check because I'm nice.
Okay, trained ability.
Yep.
And then intelligence.
Okay. Once again, just like this tree, these little things. I mean, you would know the area. So I think being an herbalist, you would know the little creatures that inhabit, creepy crawlies inside tree trunks and stuff like that. So you've seen them all. You have never seen these. There's something unnatural about these little grubs.
Okay, then I will simply shout. The creatures are not of this world.
But they're right here in this world.
And I'm going to take one little step back.
One little step. All right.
Not enough to get me interested. Okay. Gerd is no longer confused. He realizes this guy's dead, and they're just searching him for stuff. So, looking around, this guy is still flailing. He's coming around.
Oh yeah. He just flailed his two vines at the two people in front of him.
Okay, I will advance over here and take a swing with a club.
Okay.
I club thee.
Good.
Ooh,
Boom.
You slap that thing. Unfortunately, it's it's flailing around, and you're not gonna connect too powerfully with it. But at least you got a hit on it, and hit it hard enough that it is not gonna get a reflexive swipe back at you. So
Cool.
You're okay for now. What about Hob? Anything, or is
uh,
Hob just watching the show?
Torch. Looking back, Hob will light his torch. There seems to be a need to burn the tree.
Okay.
Since everybody decided to go and fight it, maybe fire might be a good idea.
Yeah, and you're like your hands are probably shaking a little bit, and you're like, oh, thank God at least it's not raining.
Yeah. It could be worse. Could be raining.
And then it starts raining.
Of course.
But you get it lit. Just in time. Okay, Joanna.
So the thing on the ground, it's not moving anymore. It's just.
I wouldn't say
releasing
it's
the
not.
song.
I wouldn't say it's not moving anymore. I would say its gyrations are winding down, but it's still moving.
I think at this point she's backing off. She doesn't want to touch any of these disgusting grubs.
Okay.
And Deirdre is backing off and saying, Freckles, it's going to be okay. And she's patting her pony.
It's gonna be. Oh, she has a pony. Yeah, that's right. Have you named your pony yet?
It's Freckles.
Freckles. Awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
Is Freckles able to handle all of this commotion, or is Freckles kind of
Freckles is
excitable?
She's getting nervous, but Deirdre's she's not a very good animal trainer, but she thinks she is.
Okay. She always wanted a pony. Now she's got one.
She's that little girl who always wanted to be a vet.
Nice. All right. Brutrina.
She's looking around. Does no one have something to light this thing on fire with?
And that's between ducking these branches flying
Right.
overhead. Yeah.
And with that, I think she'll. This thing is still moving. I think she'll try to club the one in front of her.
Yep. All right, go ahead. Oh, nope. And it's going to take a reflexive swipe back at you. You got in close. Ooh, a 14 is going to be good enough, but it just catches you a little bit. So take 1 damage, but it kind of bonks you in the head as you come in for a swing, and it throws you off. Your club misses, and it kind of knocks you backwards. All right, SDN's people.
Well, the living SDN shall yell, "We need to retreat now!" And he'll begin heading towards the other group. But Napoleon is going to join the fray.
Ooh,
He's
brave.
gonna grab his staff and head on over here. Start whacking this thing.
Okay. Just do your staff and we'll see the damage. I mean, I assume, are you aiming for this kind of still vaguely thrashing thing, or are you trying to smash grubby things?
You know what? Those are both very tempting, you know? We'll go for grubs.
Okay.
You know, he's got staffs. How big are these grubs, really?
Oh, I'd say they're the size of a quarter.
Oh, yeah. He's going to take, like, the butt of his staff and just start...
Yeah, okay. Yeah. All right, go ahead. Oh, yeah, you start squishing away at these things like you're pounding a mortar. And, yeah, you hear little squish and squash as you splat these things. There's a bunch of them. There's probably... If you could count that high, any of you, it'd probably be about 50 that you could see at this point, just kind of pouring out of it.
He's really getting into it, you know? He's doing little quips, too. Like, how's that you? Smash him.
Who's your daddy?
Yeah. He's really feeling it. This is what he signed up for.
All right, awesome. I like old Napoleon. Okay. Gorgons.
Middle Gorgon will see what he can do with his club.
Well, he can hold one end of it and swing the other end at something. That's my input.
Thanks.
Ooh, yeah, that's close, but no cigar. That let's see if it blocks or hits you. Yeah. It basically, you come in to clobber it, and instead it just swipes before you even get close enough, and again takes you kind of across the chest and knocks you back a few feet, and you take 2 damage.
How do I record damage? Do I
it's the
lower
red,
the bubble?
It's the
just
red,
lower the red bubble?
Yeah. The red bubble is hit points, everyone. If you didn't catch that, you should all have that. How about his brother Lo?
Lo has no interest in this.
Is he standing there with his arms folded? Just like tapping one foot, looking up at the rain, All right. So Mr. Walking Plant here, his death throws are pretty much done, and these things are crawling out. Yes, that's good. Yes, he's still, but these little grubby things keep climbing out and climbing up your sword. Fortunately for you, especially Ellis, they're not as fast as they initially appeared. It kind of took you by surprise, and so the initial impression was like they're pouring out like a herd of tiny rats or something. But really, now that you've had like a second to observe, you can see they're not really all that fast. So that's what's going on over there, but they are kind of making their way up your sword. And this other one is going to, now he's got Gerd and Brutrina, so I'll do Brutrina first. Oh, that's 2 on Brutrina. That's a solid smack across her head.
She gets smacked in the head with a vine and goes down.
Oh my gosh, and Gerd takes a critical.
Oh!
Oh, Ermagerd. Ermagerd. Let's see, what is an 8 on critical table M? Where is? Oh, I didn't put critical table M in there. I'll have to look it up in the actual physical book. Give me a second here.
Okay.
All right. Oh, it must be in the back. Shoot. That's why I didn't get it. Come on. Sorry, folks. Elevator music. Just imagine some elevator music. Yeah, thanks. All right, you know what? I can't find it quick enough, so I'm just going to... Whatever it is, it's bad. I can't do that to you because it's only 1 hit point. It's not going to kill you, so we really do have to see what it is. All right.
He loses a toe.
It could be. There's all kind of weird things that happen on those critical tables. Okay, here we go.
Scout.
General monsters. Number 8. The blow shatters the hero's forearm. It inflicts plus die 6 damage, and the arm is useless until healed. I will let you roll your own die 6, Gerd.
Okay, then.
Okay. Oh, poor Gerd. So I'm going to say what happens is it basically smashes into your arm while wrapping around it, and then it yanks back and just rips your whole arm off.
I'll just spin around and blood spray everybody.
Yeah. You're still alive for the moment.
Is it one? It's okay for the moment. Yeah. All right, okay.
Yeah, you're alive right now, so you can
Well,
blunder around and bleed in whatever way you want to.
he's disarmed me.
All right, and Brutrina has gone down hard as well. That was exactly your hit points, right, Brutrina?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you're still alive, barely. Like you're sort of semi-conscious, but fading out fast. Like you can see this thing kind of stomping above you, and feel the rain pouring down into your face. Ellis of the Grubby Sword.
Yes, the grubby sword is here.
So what do you do?
Ellis with his grubby sword is gonna try and tap dance across around the grubbies and try and go for this evil redwood int and take him down.
Okay, so you're gonna go around the falling Brutrina. Yeah, you can do that.
Wait, this one's down. You're saying this guy right
This
here is
one's
down?
yes, that one's gone. It's stopped. The only thing that's happening now is those little grubby things are coming out, and some of them have gotten onto your sword that was buried in it, and they're kind of like making their way up the length of the sword towards you.
All right. I'm gonna ask something. Can I toss my said sword at that int over there?
Yes, that would be an improvised thrown attack. So you can, if you know how to add that, or I'll add it. It's just.
Or is it just in the macros?
Yeah, it's just another macro under improvised thrown. You can pretty much throw anything that is reasonably throwable, and I treat it as an improvised thrown weapon.
Hold up.
And I imagine after he throws it, he kind of does this with his arm.
Yeah, exactly. All right, here we go.
Yep, go ahead. You fumbled.
Wow.
Oh.
There's no one
We're
there.
not gonna make it into the castle.
There's no one there.
Right. So you just you're kind of hilariously bad. It causes no damage to anyone or to you. I'm gonna basically say that you pull the sword out, and as you're pulling it out to throw it, like one of those grubs sort of it kind of bounces up and lands like right on the hilt of the sword as you're coming back, and you see that, and you just kind of like and let go of the let go of the sword, and it just like falls at your feet as you sort of instinctively back away. So you never even got the throw off. What about Adwin and Melba?
Did Adwin see Butrina with her? I don't know if it was oil, right?
Yes. Oh, she called out and said, "Somebody do something, light the fire."
Twice.
Yes.
If he has a lantern, is that flammable?
Oh, absolutely.
I'm gonna toss that to wherever she threw it. I think it was on the tree.
Yep. You can throw it at the tree. That's it. It's certainly at range. I'm not even gonna penalize you just because it's fun. Let's see if you make it. You just need a 10 to hit the tree with improvised thrown.
Okay, yeah, I have that on auto, and so we're good. All right. Praise be the high gods.
Yes!
Oh, a critical. All right, so the critical on the table isn't going to apply because this is throwing and smashing a lantern, but I'm going to say that with that 20, like you hit the tree dead on, where the oil was, and it couldn't have been a more perfect throw, and the oil instantly catches. And the
He's
tree,
gonna say, "Praise be the high gods, they have granted me this blessing."
of course, I can see him saying that, and then the tree is almost immediately engulfed in flame. Like it does to Adwin. I would say it looks like a miracle. The gods have answered him. So if he does make it to first level, I'd say he's perfect candidate for cleric.
Okay, cool. Let's go.
Yeah, he sees that tree go up, and it had to have been a miracle. The gods must be favoring him. What about Melba?
Melba is solve everyone getting whacked and twacked with those evil vines, and she's gonna make her way by the dead body of Fletcher Estine.
Yep. Okay. All right, Fenian's folk.
Well, Hobbs gonna, as he starts running forward, he realizes the tree bursts into flames.
Yeah, he
And
sees
stop.
it. Yeah, he see. Okay, and Hob.
That is Hobbs.
Oh, okay, and Fenian.
Fenian, well, probably step back a little bit further. Away
Yeah,
from the
yeah,
bugs.
yeah. The bugs are like slowly like making their way very patiently across the muddy ground that's getting muddier now that it's raining. Like they can't catch you, but if you just stood there, they would get to you in a couple minutes.
Because they're so unnatural, I don't want them touching me.
Yeah,
this is not stuff.
And the weird thing is, it's like as you back away, you swear they kind of readjust their direction to hone right in on you.
Okay, that's just creepy.
And how does Gerd bleed this round?
Well, which arm did it rip off? The one with the club in it?
Yes. Yep.
Is it?
In fact, the arm and the club are still held by the vine. It's still wrapped by the vine. They're both kind of intertwined in the vine.
I'll just continue wandering around and pray.
looking for your arm.
Why?
Yeah.
That's my right arm. Why? I was an armorer. I used to make horseshoes and armor.
Oh, was he the village blacksmith?
He was.
Oh shit, that's too bad. Oh well. All right, Joanna.
Joanna watches as Brutrina stumbles past and flings herself at the flame. I will not become one of these creatures. And Joanna covers her mouth with one hand and gasps, "No, not Brutrina. Our book club will never be the same." That's her connection to all the others.
Oh, she's the book club. Okay, cool.
They're all in the same book club.
Nice. All right. Everyone's well read in this village, I guess. That's cool. All right, so
Deirdre picks up the pace and backs up.
Okay, yeah. So Brutrina is self-immolating over there as she dies. That's cool. So yeah, she's now a nice. She's adding fuel to the fire. All right, SDNs.
So, can I see that? Is that a bridge? Ooh. That thing to the north?
This thing? Yeah, so what you see, I mean, you've all been kind of distracted by this tree for a little bit, but so what you see looking to the castle is this gray, let's see, this whole kind of dead area, this brown, is like a deep but dry moat. At one time, obviously, it must have been filled with water, you're guessing. But it's certainly not now. Now it's just kind of a muddy, pool at the bottom. And there are signs that there used to be a drawbridge, but that's long gone. And so what you see is somebody or something has just placed some wooden planks across it to kind of bridge the gap. And on the other side of that, you can see there's an old rusted iron portcullis that is between these two towers that are actually still standing. All of this stone is there. It's almost like there are individual stones that thrust up out of the ground and formed this structure. Like, it doesn't look like stones laid on top of stones. They're like almost individual crags of rock that thrust up out of the earth and formed this kind of vague wall. But there's this portcullis here, and it's kind of halfway closed. There's maybe 4 feet of clearance under it. Like it was, like somebody started to close it and it rusted in place or something. And you kind of can see the red, that black and red banner flying over this tower over here.
Right. So, right, and then he's gonna stop. He realizes he doesn't want to be the first one in or over that bridge. He doesn't look very sturdy. So he'll sort of he'll turn, right, and he'll start motioning people to go. Like, onward! We must seek shelter from this storm and those devil trees. He's playing like traffic cop, pulling people in.
Yep.
Well, Napoleon, on the other hand, he said there's little not leeches. Sorry, what were they?
I'm just calling them grubs, but you're not really sure what they are. That's just like the most appropriate thing to call them.
They're chasing or
yeah, Napoleon can see. Well, they're actually coming towards him as well. Like they seem to be spreading out towards anything now that is living and in close proximity.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a little string of them coming at you, and there's another stream coming at Fenian.
That angers him from this combat. He thought it was like an honorable duel between beast and man.
Mm-hmm.
So he'll head towards the one that's furthest from him, that's fleeing away from him. He'll make sure to stomp that one out first. Yeah, he's not letting these guys get away.
Oh no, they're not trying to get away. They're trying to come to you. They're coming
towards Fenian, right?
Yeah, they're towards Fenian and you. They kind of split into 2 little streams. Some are going at Fenian, and some of them are heading towards you. They're slow enough. I mean, you've just been like sitting there with your staff and going, splat, splat, splat.
None of them are getting out of here alive. This is now a personal vendetta.
All right. So Napoleon is going to clean house. All right, I got it. Yeah. So I just need you to make a difficulty 5 reflex check, just to make sure that not one of these accidentally gets onto your staff without you noticing it, or on your pant leg or whatever, and makes There's a bunch. So just do it. No, this is a saving throw. So do saving throw and then reflex. I'm only looking for a 5. Okay, so you're none of them actually get by your, you're kind of lithely moving around and avoiding them and smashing them as they.
Yes, I'm a spry old man and nothing escapes my sight.
Yep. All right, Gorgons.
Okay, Middle Gorgon has an idea. Doesn't know if it'll work, but he doesn't like going close to that thing. So he's got 10 feet of rope, and he's got a grappling hook on the end of it.
Oh, really?
Yep.
That was fortuitous.
Wasn't it?
Okay.
Yeah, being as the grappling hook came without rope.
Yes,
but,
exactly. And it did. It had no rope. But
So he would like to throw the grappling hook at the Ent, or evil Ent, with his intention being entangling it and running as fast as he can toward the edge of the moat.
Okay, got it. We'll call it an improvised throne.
I already put it on my thing.
Yeah, and basically what I'm going to do is whatever you roll for an attack is what it must do as a reflex saving throw to avoid getting entangled. And if it fails, you've got it. Okay. Unless it does really terribly. No. So you throw the grappling hook. You didn't fumble, but it just doesn't catch. Like, it doesn't twist. It kind of sails, a little beyond. Doesn't grab. So you got to kind of pull the rope back. So in this round, you basically have thrown it out. It didn't quite catch, and you've managed to pull it back. But that's about it.
Okay.
Low Gorgon.
Well, he's getting bored of living, so he'll come forward.
That's a new one. Is he getting that close to the fire? The flames are getting pretty high over here on this tree.
Better flames than grubs.
Okay. So now this plant here, it actually starts to writhe, and its vines again kind of start swirling around kind of crazily, and it itself is spinning and kind of going off in a random direction. And let's see what that random direction is. Okay, so like this, towards the tree. So what does Low Gorgon do as it starts stumbling vaguely in his direction? Almost like directly at the tree, though.
He's going to try to step back.
Okay. And it ends up, you don't know if it's purposely doing this or not. It may appear that it was. It blunders right into the burning tree and immolates itself along with the tree. And you can hear the snapping and crackling of wood as it burns. And I'm actually going to take us out of combat now. Because you all just kind of see it go up and it's going to burn down. And Napoleon's just over there kind of finishing off the grubs. And Low Gorgon is close enough to the tree that he can see that when the evil ent, as you're calling them, stumbles into the tree and starts to burn, that little grubs start kind of pouring out of it, but they're all on fire as they come out, so they're also kind of snap, crackling, and popping and kind of flying off almost like little firecrackers in different directions.
Pop, 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 pop.
As Joanna watches, she suddenly remembers that one of the bodies had a sword in the tree. Is that sword anywhere to be seen?
Yes, it was, what was his name? Klaus, yes, it was on Klaus's body.
Alas, Klaus, I knew him well.
Yes, poor Klaus.
Can someone grab that sword?
And Ellis is going to ask for whoever. Oh, Gerd, maybe. Oh, Gerd doesn't have an arm.
No, Gerd is now done. He's bleeding out. There's nothing you can do for poor Gerd. I mean,
Little Gorgon, take my rope. I'm going back to town.
Is that the town in the sky? Or yeah.
Whatever's this direction.
Gert just kind of staggers off back towards the town. I'll be in the smithy if you need me. Yeah.
I'll see you guys when you're done. Gotta go get a band-aid. But I do. I'm gonna hand over my rope to Middle Gorgon as I go by. So you can have it.
Nice. You're so generous.
It's perfect for a tourniquet. Good thing you don't need it.
Yeah.
My arm's
Yes.
fine.
Yeah, and then you just see him just collapse, I think, at some point.
Yeah, get a little bit further and just
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
That would just be it.
Oh, Gerd.
That's a meme worthy.
Actually, Middle Gorgon's going to take High Gorgon's crowbar, and then he's going to throw any bodies on the fire.
Okay.
So
By any bodies, do you mean this evil ent thing too?
Oh no, I meant our party.
Okay, all right. So there's SDN. So it sounds like are you all in agreement? You're kind of tossing the bodies on the fire.
Viking funerals. Yep.
It's
Okay.
it's a funeral fire at this point.
And I haven't told you anything about this world, but the dominant religion, there's a god of light, and it is a crematory kind of culture. So to burn someone is kind of sending them to heaven to be judged for their deeds.
Well, Middle Gorgon is a dwarf, and he's
he
sending
doesn't-
them to where they can't come
Yeah.
back and get them.
Exactly. Okay, cool. Yeah, that works too.
Yeah, make sure the dwarves are all burned.
Yeah.
That's good.
All right, I'm going to call a very brief bio break since I am over the age of 50. I'm surprised I made it this long. All right, so we'll be right back.
Roger.
Oh, Middle Gorgon. The last two dwarves in the whole village. Now you have no one to mate.
I know he was coming. The only reason he ran up was Brutrina ran up.
I have a feeling it's a nice sword. Someone should grab it.
I've got a
First
feeling
thing
it's
I
a
did-
rusty nothing.
I love
First
how
thing I did was
you're.
die and then loot myself.
Yeah, that was great. That was great.
I pretty much used all my consumables on Aduin to kill that ant.
You threw the sword. You better go find it.
I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna do it when he comes back. But yeah, no. I was trying to do anything I could at that point. All my other characters, I didn't want to risk it for the biscuit, yo.
Yeah, do any of your characters have a weapon anymore?
I don't think Melba does anymore. I think it's just Aduin with the staff. So I kind of out of luck there.
Go grab them.
Yeah, I'm gonna
All right, I'm back. But no, don't let me rush you.
I don't think anybody else left.
I think a couple people did. I see a couple people muted.
Like Bo, that fucker.
Yeah, well, he doesn't count because he's just an interloper.
I'm just a voyeur at this point.
A voyeur. Yeah.
An officious interloper at that.
The Wuhan flu has claimed another soul.
And I see Ellis goes to look for his grub sword. Oh yeah, it actually didn't go very far. It was sort of at the feet down here. So I'd say correct me if I'm wrong. I assume you kind of very carefully pick it up and inspect it to make sure none of those little grub fuckers are on it. And Napoleon is just kind of finishing stamping out the last of them. Job well done. All right, we're all back.
Oops, sorry.
So Ellis, yes,
Durka.
So Ellis, you reclaim your short sword, free of grubbies, and Napoleon has finished wiping them out, and Estienne is up there, kind of trying to marshal everyone up towards the castle. And Low Gorgon grabs the dagger of High Gorgon. Fair enough.
My girls don't need the weapon. Is no one gonna grab that extra sword?
It's a perfectly good short sword.
I'll grab it. Ellis kind of wants a little bit of a trophy from the horrific battle that just went on, and goes for the sword on Klaus, and also gives a prayer. And Adowin blesses the funeral pyre and says, to the gods, may these souls be granted heavenly sanctuary, all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, he says a good little prayer over the people. All right. Yep.
And Melba kind of goes by Joanne to grab her dagger and kind of gives her that, I'm sorry, I almost hit you.
She just kind of narrows her eyes. Does that whole, I'm looking at you thing with her two fingers pointing at her eyes and at Melba.
Yeah.
Is there anything we can do if we are injured partially to treat our wounds, or is that
there
just
is nothing you can do right now, unless somebody happened to get a bandages or something as one of their random items.
We must be careful moving forward. We cannot afford to lose any more.
And was somebody grabbing the short sword? I didn't hear if someone did say they were going.
I'll do it.
Okay. You also see that kind of, I wouldn't say hidden in his belt, but it was not obvious while it was, thrashing around at. There's also a dagger thrust into the belt as well.
Oh yeah, because I hit it with the. Yeah, Melba hit it with her dagger too.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Ellis will grab the sword and see the dagger, grab him, and then kind of toss back Melba her throwing dagger.
It hits her and kills her for one. Oh, only one hit point though.
Yeah.
Okay, so Melba, you've got your dagger back. Yay! Now you can try to kill somebody else by accident.
Oh yeah. Does anyone need this sword for protection?
I could use it.
Who's that?
Finian.
Finian.
Iron Finian. I could use that sword.
Here, Finian, have this sword from the battle. May it be of better use to you than Klaus.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, so regular short sword. Yeah, you can add that. Okay. So, anything else? It seems like Estienne is then. I assume Estienne is still trying to get people moving up there.
We must escape the storm. Hurry, someone.
Let us go. Let us go. Yes, I've got a torch.
So, how sturdy does this bridge look?
Are there any wood related people here? Oh, you're Joanna. You're a
Woodcutter.
woodcutter. Oh well, yeah, perfect then. It looks sturdy enough. But you don't want is to have more than one person on it at a time. Is your
what about
impression?
a pony?
Can she jump across?
No, there's no way the pony will jump that far. The pony could possibly make it, but you'd be worried about that. You're taking a bit of a chance with that.
Deirdre says, "I'll go last."
Yes, hello.
Right. Joanna will go first.
Hello? Yes. You're outside? Okay, I'll be there right now. Okay.
Okay, so Joanne's going to go first to demonstrate that it works. I take it. Yep, she gets across okay. I mean, it's not hard to get across. It actually looks a little more dangerous than you feel like it actually is. And the wood is surprisingly sturdy. I mean, you can kind of tell.
Stamp on it as she goes by to kind of demonstrate to everybody else.
Okay. You can kind of see through the rain what looks like a big open inner courtyard in there, but it's hard to make out a lot of the details because of the rain and it's now overcast pretty badly.
All right. How do we get through the portcullis?
You just have to climb under. There's about a 4-foot gap. So actually, Middle Gorgon could pretty much just walk right under it without even having to bend.
Oh, it's open a bit.
Yeah. It's like halfway closed, a little more than halfway closed.
Okay, I can walk right under it too.
Mm-hmm.
Hob is a halfling. All right, let's do this party.
Get the party started.
Let's peek around that corner there.
Okay. You see the courtyard is open and sort of without great detail. Again, because it's so hard to make out details. It looks like it goes on quite a ways. Let me actually. It looks like it goes quite a ways up this way. The length of the castle. Over here, you can vaguely see at sort of the limit of what you can dimly make out. It looks like there's some sort of building that's up against the opposite castle wall over there. And down that way at the end, it looks like, you see the tower. You know that like out here there was this was the tallest kind of a round tower at that corner. And you can kind of vaguely make out the edge of the round tower over that way.
All right, I'm going to turn the corner.
Okay.
Move Finian up over this direction.
And what's everyone else doing back on the other side of the...
Deirdre's waiting for everyone else to go because she doesn't want her pony to knock the bridge down before everyone gets across.
Mm-hmm.
Estienne will wait for one or two more people to go, then he'll go. And Napoleon's just going to catch up.
All right, well, go ahead and move yourself when you're ready to cross.
I think Corinne's still AFK. We could probably
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay.
I'm back. I just got back. Sorry about
okay.
that.
Yeah, so people are just kind of crossing the bridge, so you can move yourselves across the bridge when you're ready to actually cross. You have to do it one at a time.
Okay. What am I rolling? Or
You're
just
not.
wanna-
You don't have to roll. It's sturdy enough that I'm not making you do a roll.
Generous.
Mm-hmm. Old man makes it across. Starless. Yep. And you can see people are kind of filing into the inner courtyard up ahead in the rain. Yeah, not old school. No, I should make you all roll, and eventually someone's gonna make it break, and you all dies. Ha ha ha! It seems like this is, somebody put it here to use to cross over, and it works. It's not great, but it's doing its job.
Before Napoleon crosses, he'll ask Fiardra what she's up to. Well, why is it that you don't continue?
I want to take my time with Freckles, and just in case she's just a little too much for the bridge, I just thought I'd go ask.
What? You plan to cross with it? What if the bridge collapses and you both fall?
I can't leave Freckles behind.
Why did you bring her or him, along with you?
Are you saying I should have left her back at the village? What? But I'd be too scared to go anywhere without Freckles.
And have stayed in the village with him.
But I would have been all alone. We're the last able-bodied people in the village, and those other old people are creepy.
What do you have something against the elderly?
Only the infirm ones. Elves don't get old like that. It's unnatural.
I assure you it is perfectly natural.
Okay. We don't need to argue. You can just go and I'll follow you. I'm sure it'll be fine. Freckles isn't that.
How's about I assist you then?
Well, okay. How are you gonna do?
A creepy old man offering the young elf assistance, eh?
Yeah. I'm guessing. Here.
You're gonna show her how to do a golf swing too.
No, I have 20 feet of rope, right? So tie this around your waist, and I will bring it to the other side, and should you fall, we'll be able to pull you back.
Her eyes light up, and she says,
Hey, that's really smart. I guess being old has some benefits, huh? You learn to hold.
I am well-traveled, very worldly, quite a looker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he'll give her one in the rope, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's good with that. Do you know the tie or not?
Well, of course.
Of course, I'm sorry. And then he'll take the other end.
What do you take me for, an idiot?
So Deirdre ties the rope around her own waist, and then she takes hold of Freckles' bridle and pats her on the neck.
It's okay. The bridge is. It's really sturdy. See.
And she starts to lead the pony, which doesn't seem nearly as nervous as she does over the bridge.
All right, make a luck check for me.
I want to also tell the others to help with this. I don't want to be the only one holding this.
Yeah. So you failure. Okay. You're almost across, and you're like, Freckles, we're almost there. See, and then the bridge just kind of suddenly cracks, and Freckles just goes plummeting down. And who's holding the other end of the rope?
So Napoleon, and then I would have asked everyone here. Estienne would not have complied. He would have pretended not to hear and moved forward. I don't know if any of the three of them would.
Was anybody else helping Adwin?
Adwin would have helped him. He's right there.
Okay,
Napoleon
so
Adwin.
Adwin, I'm gonna have you make a strength check. She's light and an elf. I'm only gonna require a 5, and you get a +2 from the assistants. So you really have to screw this up to lose hold of her. Famous last words.
Is that what I'm doing? Or is it
Just
him?
you're just doing a strength. So either one of you. Actually, Adwin, you're the lead, so you do the trained strength roll.
Any bonuses?
+2, because you get the help of someone else holding on. That helps a lot. Oh, geez, you have no trouble. She doesn't even really pitch over the side. You hold her steady, and so she can indulge in watching the pony go down without any fear of harm to herself.
And she kind of lunges for the pony, but gets yanked back by the rope, crying as she eventually steps back.
Right, well, I need my rope back.
She looks down at it.
I know how to tie a knot,
What do you...
but
It's,
getting it I tied it real good.
There was nothing you could do, Adwin says. It was either the pony or your life.
That's very nice of you to say.
Joanna says, oh no, our book club grows smaller by the minute.
Oh my.
maybe say thank you. I did save your life.
Thank you.
That's right.
She fumbles at the knot some more, and she just kind of gives up.
These young people, no respect, no talent. We'll sit and get it off so I can get my rope back.
Okay.
All good.
Hob turns around to say something to somebody and realizes he's all by himself.
What is he saying?
Is Hob a he or a she?
We
Hob
never asked.
Hob is a he.
You picked the wrong token.
Very
It's all right. It's just
attractive.
He's a halfling. He's an adorable, effeminate halfling. Gigantic feet.
That's totally cool. Are you really kind of going off by yourself over there?
Yes, I was just kind of like working forward along the wall,
Being quiet, yeah. Okay.
being quiet with the torch, just kind of leaning forward a little bit at a time,
Yep.
and turned around and realized he was
There's nobody there. Yeah. So yeah, you can see when you were over there, you can see that at this corner there is a doorway that kind of goes into, like an arched doorway that enters into this tower, and up here on this this building there is a pair of doors which appear to be barred from the outside. You can kind of make that out the shape of some kind of wooden or iron bar or something across the door. It's a little hard to make out at this distance in the rain. And what's everybody else doing at the gate there? I don't want to get too far ahead if they're intending to follow up.
From the three of these people, or I guess four, who looks like the most capable in this group up next to Estienne, I guess?
The most capable.
Hold on, Adwin, you were the last one to pass under the portcullis. As you kind of bend down and start to pass under it, you hear this sound. And the portcullis comes slamming down. I am going to give you a reflex save to get out of the way. It's going to be tough. You're going to need a 10 reflex save. Not super tough, but that's to see if it has a chance of actually hitting you. So,
Okay.
So make a reflex save for Adwin.
Oh, so saving throw?
Yeah, saving throw.
Any minuses or pluses?
Nope, just straight up. See if you can get out of the way in time. Nope. So this comes down. I'm just gonna roll a 20-sided die. It gets a +4 to its, or no, sorry, -5 to it to hit. It's a little slow. Okay, it missed. Fortunately, you kind of, but give me a luck check to see if you dodge forward or backwards. If you succeed at the luck check, I'll let you decide which side you're on.
Trained or untrained?
It's just luck check. It's its own thing.
Oh, okay, got you. D20?
Yep. No. So you're actually on the opposite side of this portcullis. It comes down. And you swear you hear a little
We hear the thing.
Is it just me that hears it, or everybody else?
Yeah, you're the only one close enough to actually hear. The rest of them have kind of moved on, and they're assuming that you're behind. And then the portcullis slams down, and you kind of jump back, and it was a faint sound.
Okay. So no one heard it happen because of the
Oh,
rain?
oh no, they hear the portcullis come down. They just didn't hear that little sound.
No, yeah, I got that. I was just making sure, and that he's gonna kind of get up after making that roll and dust himself off and try and see if he can get back to the other side. Climb or no?
How to where?
Because you said that it fell right where that line is at, right?
Right. So now the whole doorway is blocked. The whole
Okay, that's
entrance,
what
yeah,
okay.
it's slammed down all the way now. It was part way down, now it's all the way down.
Okay. So, Adawin's gonna try and yell to see if they can hear him, or am I muffled?
Oh yeah, you can hear them. They can hear you if you yell at them. They can see you. I mean, they're not that far away.
Okay. Oh, well, you never know.
Yep.
So the embattlement has fallen. I don't know if I can make it back across. I don't know what I shall do in this predicament.
Oh no.
And I'm gonna look to see if there's maybe like,
What's that?
by the gods, what is making that infernal noise?
That sounds like it's directly above you.
I'm gonna look up and see what that is.
Everybody heard that.
He's gonna. Oh, the bridge, the thing fell. Oh.
Yeah, there's no bridge behind you, and you're on the wrong side of this thing.
Middle Gorgon wants to try to help him out and see if he can lift up that portcullis.
Yeah, Joanna will go over to. Let's see if we can lift this.
Napoleon's gonna yell there. Are you okay?
I'm okay, but I heard a little voice. I don't know if it was some foul demon or just echoes of the castle, but I don't think this bodes good tidings.
And
perhaps we'll
you
leave
all
you out
heard
there
that
with our
clanging.
voices.
Yeah, and you all heard the
You're just-
clanging.
Or the source of the clanging.
Yep. So yeah, you're kind of looking up. You don't see anything that would look like the source of the clanging, but you also realize you can't see the top of this wall and these little towers. So
Okay.
there's any it could be anywhere along, but your guess is that it's in one of those two, at the top of one of those two towers. You're just not sure which one, but it's from up there.
Okay.
Or it could be, there's an overpass that that you don't see that connects the two towers that the portcullis is dropped, from. It could be directly overhead as well. So it's one of those places.
So with the port thing falling, is it possible to move some of the debris and possibly make the other side, or am I literally stuck?
You are stuck now. I mean, you can imagine yourself maybe trying to leap that gap and get back at least across to the other side, but that's really it looks like your only way out. Or you could try to kind of inch out here and try to climb up that wall, but that looks dangerous as well. It's not perfectly smooth, but it's not an easy climb, and if you slip and fall, it's certainly going to be your death.
I think we three were going to try to see if we could budge the portcullis.
Okay. So who all is trying to move the portcullis?
Middle Gorgon.
Visual on that.
And Napoleon. And Adwin, are you helping as well?
Yes.
All right. If you can just type your strength, not your modifier, your actual strength score into the chat window, that would help. Let me see if you're able. Ooh, my gosh. I had no idea Middle Gorgon was so freaking strong.
Oh, no, take a look. He's a freak in many ways.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
A statistical freak.
A statistical freak. Well, it not only is he a freak, he is, yes. So yeah, actually, between the four of you, it takes a little bit of effort at first, but you manage to pull the portcullis up far enough that Adwin can slip under it, while the three of you are holding it in place, and then you can let it drop again.
We should Does anyone have anything?
I have a small chest.
We noticed.
I this.
Says
Oh,
she holds out this box.
I couldn't hear you. What'd you say, Darren? Darren?
I said we noticed.
not small.
She said she has a small chest.
I've been waiting all night.
Does it look like it can even sustain this weight?
Does it look like what?
Sustain the weight?
Like if it was
That little chest. If you really carefully eased the portcullis down on top of it, you think it might, but it's gonna be it's actually, Joanna's a woodworker. I think she'd put the chance at about probably a 20% chance that it's actually not going to buckle under the weight of this portcullis.
Can I use Adwin's staff as a type of leverage with the chest to hold it up?
Maybe. Okay, so I will say between the two of those, possibly. Yeah. What you could do is break your staff into smaller pieces, and with the chest in those pieces, kind of make little wedges that will hold it up. But it's only going to hold it. You're only going to be holding up about a foot of space underneath. But that might
Maybe
be
be able
enough.
to-
Someone could probably slip under it, but it wouldn't be super easy.
Then you'll be able to run to the space beyond the portcullis and be killed there.
Yeah.
Doesn't really seem like it's worth the effort being
You
disarmed
lifted
and
it
all.
once, we can try to lift it again.
If there are enough of us left.
That's a very grim attitude you have, Nipple.
Did you not see what happened outside by the tree?
If you really wanted to live, why did we come in at all?
We have a job we must do. I am simply looking ahead.
I'm gonna stat my staff because my life is more important than the staff.
Well, you
Okay.
can you can slip under regardless.
Oh yeah, you
Oh,
can. Yeah, they lifted it enough for you to get under. That's no problem. It's just the question of keeping it up. They're trying to
Gotcha.
figure out a way to make it stay up while you weren't there. And
Oh, okay.
and there's right now you don't seem to have anything between you that would really, prop it up and hold it without buckling under the weight of it. It is a heavy portcullis.
My arms are starting to give.
Yeah, are you going under, Adwin?
Yeah, I'm going
Okay.
under.
All right. All right, you make it through. And then you guys can ease it back down again and breathe a sigh of relief. Although Middle Gorgon's just getting his morning workout.
Adwin's gonna praise his fellow friends and villagers for helping him out of that situation and give him some sort of blessing from the gods.
Mm-hmm.
And also tell them that there must be something else here other than us, because I could have swore I heard a little tiny voice giggling at our predicament.
It wasn't me. I didn't think it was funny.
Maybe it's just your nerves.
I don't.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
We should hurry
Why?
because it makes me nervous to stand here like this.
We're gonna move away. Adwin's gonna move away.
Yeah, go ahead.
Adwin and Ellis are gonna say what happened. He's gonna inform Ellis of what happened because there was too many people, over by that situation by the portcullis to see what happened,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can take it away from there.
Okay. What have you found over there, Hob?
It's a doorway.
Yeah, you can see there probably was once a door, but that door is long rotted away.
Well, Joanna will go take a look inside the room.
Okay. Give me... I'm not even going to make you roll. You see many pairs of eyes staring back at you from inside in the darkness of this tower. And when you step into the doorway, the smell is overwhelming. It smells like filth and matted, damp fur, and it's just an awful smell. You smell feces, maybe blood. It's a stench of death and decay in there. And what's your immediate reaction? I mean, are you you smell this? You see several pairs of eyes. What do? They're not right in front of you, but you can see they're kind of blinking out at you from the darkness.
I think she would kind of put her axe in front of her protectively and stumble back. There's something denning in here. Some sort of creatures. We should not disturb them if we don't have to.
All right, but it's a doorway that we could maybe go in if we had.
That is a true statement.
Do you see anything from up there?
So I kind of want to keep moving back and forth. So we got people that are over there. What's going on with Gorgon and Fenian up there, up north?
Hello, Gorgon. Just noticed the well.
Mm-hmm.
And he's headed for it.
Okay. What about Fenian?
I was keeping my eyes on the building here. This is where the doorway is with the slats on.
Yeah,
okay.
it's a little hard to make out any details. It's a vague impression.
Sure, I'm fine with that. Just continue moving a little bit more in this direction.
Mm-hmm. And what about everybody back at the center?
You said that there was a two doors covered in, with metal posts.
It seems like it. Like you'd have to go up a little closer to really make out any details, but it looks like there are two large doors at the entrance there, and they're shut, and it looks like there's a bar across it, a wooden or metal, long wooden, or I'm sorry, not necessarily wooden, but a bar across it, keeping it shut.
From our side, or
yes, from your side. Yeah,
sure,
you wouldn't. Yeah, you wouldn't be able to see if it was on the other side.
I think Aiden's gonna postulate from what happened with the tower falling that there's something in here that was trying to be kept inside by the people that were here.
Okay, does he say anything to anybody, or are you just kind of keeping that observation to yourself?
Nah, he's gonna say something right now. I think there was some invaders that may have sieged the castle and gotten in, and at some point the defenders might have locked them inside the castle.
Maybe, but people from the village have been disappearing, right? So she shrugs. Whatever's in here is not really trapped.
True, but we should be very wary going forward and deeper into this castle. It's only going to get more and more dangerous.
Hey, wait, what?
Oh, you are cruel, sir. You are cruel.
It might be in trouble.
Where's the door? I don't see it.
Oh, the door's in the side of this building over here. So she kind of rushes up to the door.
Yeah, she'll press her ear to the door.
Okay, so she presses her ear to the door to listen. I don't think Low Gorgon is good enough to throw his voice that well, so you don't hear a pony. You just strain to listen, and you just hear the sounds of the rain.
Oh no, that's just rain in there.
Oh, it must
I
have been
know,
down the well. It's down the well. I think it's down the well, yes.
What?
She'll go listen down the well.
So she rushes over to the well.
She makes little wickering sounds down into the well.
Okay, so when you look over into the well and start to make sounds, get this weird queasy feeling, like it's like a vertigo. And I'm gonna need you to make a saving throw. I believe it's a will throw. Yes, make a saving throw for me, please. Will throw.
That button doesn't work. Okay.
Oh, interesting. Hold on, I can fix that. ST will. Only got 1 million of these. How did that not work? Oh, I know what. No. Huh.
I can just roll up.
Oh, no, I know what happened. Go ahead and do it again. I just didn't make it available to you scummy players. Oh, you're looking down that well, and it just seems to go on forever, and you feel like you hear sparkles down there.
Oh, Sparkles? That's the pony I had when I was little. It was Sprinkles' mommy.
Oh, Sprinkles. Yeah, Sparkles. It's Sparkles. Yes, Sprinkles' mommy. You hear Sparkles down there.
You're right, she says, and turns to Low Gorgon. I do hear a pony, and it sounds just like Sparkles. I'm coming, Sparkles.
And Low Gorgon, you look at her, and you see her eyes are like dilating. And she's becoming frantic. Deirdre kind of leans over the well again. And Deirdre, you really want to go down there and get that pony. Like you're sure she's down there and she's trapped and all alone and cold and desperate.
I have 50 feet of rope. Let me tie this around your waist.
Good idea.
Is there no like bucket and rope on this?
Oh, there you can see there's kind of a lintel there that has an old pulley. There's no rope on the pulley, but the pulley is there.
You could tie it there.
Oh, I just might. Just hold on. Does it look solid?
Yeah, it looks pretty solid actually, given how old it is.
I think Joanna would come over.
Okay, yeah.
Deirdre, it is very unlikely that there is a pony in that wet.
But I hear it. Don't you hear it?
Come away from there. But I think she would probably kind of listen and try to see what she's hearing at the well.
Okay. Make a will save for me, please, Joanna.
Nope.
No. So, what is something Joanna has always longed for or feels she is missing?
A whetstone for her axe.
You hear a whetstone. No, yeah, no.
The stones are assuredly all wet.
No, when you look, you listen and you hear like a little scraping sound, and you can't help but look over the edge, and you look down, and you can see the most perfect whetstone you have ever seen at the bottom of this well, and it's only like 20 feet deep.
Oh.
It looks magic. It looks magic to you.
But there's something down there. It looks like a magic stone. We must
Hilly,
go down there.
If you would like, I can take the rope off Deirdre and put it on Joanna.
But the pony.
Only one at a time, ladies.
Yes. I will go down, Deirdre. You stay here. I will tell you if there's a pony.
I think Deirdre's probably used to Joanna getting her.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, we will switch the rope then.
Okay. Gorgon, Low Gorgon, I need you to make a will save for me as well.
Oh, jeez.
Okay. Yeah, you're fine. Like you don't see or hear anything. You're just helping with the rope. You take the rope off of Deirdre, tie it around Joanna. You can loop it up over the pulley. No
and
problem.
hand the other end to middle Gorgon and step out of the way.
Okay. It sounds like they're ready to lower you away.
Adwin's gonna make a call and start yelling at them, like, what's going on over there, because he sees the gathering of his comrades
Yep.
and doesn't know what's going on.
Come look, Edwin. There's something magic just about 20 feet down. I can see it clearly.
There are magical ponies that fly down there. We're going to rescue them.
There's no pony. It's a magic stone. It will make my axe so sharp.
Exactly. It's down there. We're going to rescue whatever it is.
Realizing that he probably thinks that's impossible, considering it's a well, and why would be there a whetstone at the bottom of a well?
Because it's wet, you fool.
It's a wet stone. Of course you're going to find a wet stone at the bottom of a well.
Is it spelled the same? I don't remember.
That does make sense.
Considering that he's gonna step closer to them and see what's going on. Since he's an acolyte, can he kind of sense evil energy or not where he's at in life currently?
He doesn't have any magical ability to do that, but he might have intuition. I'll let him make a wisdom check. So do a trained wisdom check for me.
It's an ability, right? Trained ability? Or
Yes, trained ability, and then do wisdom.
There's only intelligence. I don't see wisdom.
Oh, it should be all. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, they don't do. I'm thinking of D&D.
Oh, you're good.
Do intelligence for me then.
Any modifiers? Nope.
No. Just let's see what you get. Oh, pretty good. Okay, so something feels off about this. I mean, you're an acolyte. You have, you've been you were trained by the priest before he was taken away by these creatures, these beasts. And you remembered his lessons in life. What did he tell you that would maybe give you some insight into that something is wrong here?
Something is amiss.
Something is spiritually amiss here.
The priest, Eowyn, I'm not even saying his name right. Eowyn says, remembers he has like a flashback of the priest telling him that when you know evil's afoot, that there is a kind of a dark twisting in your brain, and that you feel that the normal presence of the high gods of light aren't there, and that there's a creeping dark sensation coming upon you, and that's how you know evil is there. There's probably a mnemonic device for that, but I can't remember.
It's an 18-letter mnemonic device. Yes.
Yeah, it's like a prayer or like a little chant to remember it. It's probably what he learned, and
yes,
he's chanting that little prayer out and hoping that it'll keep his mind stable and level and not being twisted into maybe looking down the well like these fools have.
All right, what I'm going to have you do is make the same thing, but do a personality check this time. I want to see how, because you were being trained to be a priest, so you're, the idea of influencing people and kind of trying to speak with authority. You're supposed to know how to do that to some extent. So go ahead and make a personality check. Let's see. I will let Joanna or Deirdre attempt another will save, but only one of them. Which one?
I'm going to say Joanna, because she already kind of took charge, and Deirdre backed off a little bit.
Okay, so go ahead. Ooh. Something about what he's saying sounds like it's reflecting a little bit of something you're feeling, like it's a voice through some, like you feel cloudy in your brain right now.
She looks down at the rope that she's been tying around her waist and back at Adwin, and then over at Low Gorgon and Deirdre. I don't feel so good. I think this well is a bad idea. Deirdre, come away from the well. And she starts to back away, kind of taking the rope with her.
Mm-hmm.
And Adwin is gonna kind of get his staff and kind of like hit him, not hit him, but like prod him to like maybe come to their senses.
Oh, I could totally see a cleric doing that, like boom, 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 wake up,
yep.
like a monk. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. He's
Yeah.
kind of still chanting to like keep him focused, and also maybe his words will have them focus on him.
Yeah. So who knows? It might work. Like you realize in the back of your mind, you realize you're kind of pulling a little bit of this out of your ass, but you're trying to imitate him as best as you could, and it seems to be kind of working. So, and isn't Adwin the one that witnessed the tree go up?
Yes.
So yeah, I'd say his faith is at a high right now. So
Woo!
Yeah.
Deirdre follows after Joanna, saying, "But I need that rope if I'm going to go find the pony."
There is no pony, you fool!
What do you mean?
The dark gods are trying to convince you. They're trying to take your soul. Step
Please
away.
don't call anyone a fool, or we will have to dismiss you from the party for bullying.
Giant, how old are you?
3.
I'll be 52 next summer.
Yeah.
Back when I was your age.
She's almost reached puberty.
This her family? Do we know that? People that you're with? Are they all humans? I can't tell.
Deirdre's an elf.
She's the only one, right?
Are there any other elves in the group?
Adwin's
Right.
a
Looks like
Oh, Adwin's an elf. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
I mean,
Well, then he's not... Oh, that's interesting.
elf at the very end of his lifespan.
Elves can't be
Deciding to
clerics.
become. Oh.
No.
He's an acolyte. He's something. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, I know. I'm just thinking that. That'd be interesting, though. I'll have to think about that. All right, go ahead.
Oh yeah, go on. Sorry.
There's... It's for your wants. And that pony is dead, right? You need to accept that so you can move forward.
What is it? Can't you hear it? It's still whinnying down in the moat.
I can hear it.
It will be dead by the time we get there. If you don't harden up, this place will consume you.
I am hard. I'm as hard as any of you.
what is this?
Stop your tears and let's move on.
Okay.
Okay. That was... All right. It doesn't... Yeah, I think the whole village has learned that if they just keep talking to her long enough, she'll just...
Get distracted.
Yeah, she'll get distracted and they can get her to do anything. It's just like... No, you really want to go and empty the, go clear out the outhouse. No, you really do. Okay, fine. It just takes 10 minutes of
She's
wearing her down.
her special trait is airhead times 10.
Yeah.
She dyes her hair dark blonde because it's very, very, very light blonde.
Nice.
Right.
I would love-
She'll try to hold Napoleon's hand.
I need to keep this open, just in case.
Just in case what?
I gotta go.
Okay. Let's cut over to the people at the doorway over there. So and we kind of pulled away from the tower a little fast too. But so you guys pulled back and I'm assuming you just kind of backed away from the tower and started over this way is what it sounds like.
Yeah, after what's her name ran over there, I backed away a little bit faster.
All right, so the folks over here, what's happening here?
I wanted to investigate the doorway, the barred doorway here.
Yep. Yeah, this building is in better shape than you would imagine it to be. It's obvious that this building is old. It wasn't like a recent construction. It is a stone building, and there are at the top of the wall, all along the right at the roof, there are these tiny little statues of stone carved at like where the roof and the wall meet, and they look like little gargoyles. Like you've seen gargoyles before. Anyone who's been to a bigger town on the temples, but these look like a strange shape of gargoyle. And in front of you is a pair of singed bronze doors. And I say singed because you can tell that like where the two doors meet and around the edges of each of the doors, there's like scorch marks. Like there was a fire on the other side of the doors.
Okay.
Like a raging fire, not like just a little bit of burning.
Like a fire-breathing pony.
Could be. And on the bronze doors, it's cast with these little shapes, and you kind of have to get up close to see them. But I don't know how Hob takes this sort of thing, but they look like little demonic faces that are maybe screaming or wailing or maybe in agony, something like that. Like they look terrorized. And there is across the door in faded paint, where the pigment is almost all worn away, but you can still make out the remnants of the words in capitals "repent" in flaking red paint.
Good instruction.
Like somebody hurriedly, scrawled it on there with a big brush or something. So it's not like someone very carefully, and artfully did it. It's like somebody quickly, scratched that out or, rubbed that out with a brush.
What does the brace that is holding the door closed look like?
It's a bronze, and the bar that's holding it shut is just of wood, though. But it's a very heavy piece of wood.
Okay. Is it like set onto the little like clips or something like that?
Yeah,
or does it have to slide out?
Yeah, there are just little they're little rests for it. There are four rests, 2 on each door, and it's been, jammed down in there.
Does it look like some some strapping adventurers could lift up and move out of the way?
Oh yeah, it doesn't look like it'd be great. I mean, you all by your little self. Did you say you're a halfling?
Yeah.
Yeah, but all by your little self, you might struggle to get it out without hurting yourself. But even yourself and one other person would probably have not too great a difficulty lifting it.
Care to open the door, Gorgons?
I don't know about him, but I can do it.
There's only 3 people right near you, so unless you're gonna go and they're all something's going on over at the well, while you guys are looking at this door. You're not really sure. It doesn't look like there's any great alarm or trouble over there. So I'd say you're you're interested in this while they're having that whole conversation over there.
Oh, Alice?
Yes, my good man.
Melba, could you assist me?
I could, but do you think that's a wise move, sir?
Oh, absolutely not.
Well, I think we should wait for the rest of the party to come before we do that, because there's only you and Melba over here to see if anything happens. We might be in quite the pickle.
All right then. All right, carry on. We move on.
All right, so you rejoining the rest of the group?
Yeah,
fair enough. Okay,
this way.
so up here, what you guys are seeing, I'm gonna just reveal more of this because you can kind of see. You can see that the whole wall here has collapsed. This whole section has tumbled, and there's just big blocks and boulders just all kind of piled up and tumbled down the side of this hill. It's hilly. It's like a hill back here. And over here, it's like it's like this sort of yawning sinkhole that seems to, like, the look of it is that it's kind of swallowed up the wall. So the wall there has also collapsed from what would have, kind of joined these sections. And now there's just this gaping hole that drops pretty far down. Like in the cloudy rain, you can't even really quite tell where the bottom is down there. And there's kind of a mist billowing up. As you kind of get closer to the edge, you see this mist. And Fenian's getting closer. He's kind of going up to the edge there. And it might be a trick of his eyes, but he imagines he's seeing in the mist, the mist in various places for a moment seems to form into these little faces and then dissipate. And the faces have this kind of tortured look. And they look like, they're kind of distorted and twisting, kind of like the Scream kind of thing. They kind of form and twist, and it looks like, and kind of, without it making any sound, obviously, but, and then sort of dissipate, the mist keeps rising.
I'll just give that a couple of seconds and then I'll start backing away.
Okay.
Alright. This place is unnatural.
And before you back away, you look like you went right up to the edge there. I'm going to need you to attempt a reflex save. Because as you get that close to the edge, you feel the ground suddenly start to give way under you.
Ew.
You're going to create more erosion.
Okay, reflex save.
Mm-hmm. And all right, and I'm going to tell you about I'm introducing little bits at a time, or at least that was my intent. Don't cry when I tell you this. You can. Their luck in the game is actually kind of a resource. Even after making a check, if you want, you can spend luck to improve your roll by an equal amount. So if you needed to do something, you didn't know what you needed here, but if you didn't think it was high enough, you could spend some luck to increase it. That luck is gone. There are ways to get it back, but and halflings actually get all their luck back. That's one of the things about being a halfling. And actually, halflings can lend their luck to other people. It is very lucky to have halflings in your party. So that's a general. Yeah, I know. That is a general thing you can do. So for those of you who missed your roll by 1 before, I apologize, but that's how it goes.
Just so because just make sure I heard this right. So you're kind of saying it's like destiny points in
a way. Yep, it's like you're attacking, for example, or you need a 13 save and you roll a 5. You can spend 8 of your luck if you have it to make that roll. But now that luck is gone, and it's you've reduced your luck by that score, and you now have an abysmal luck. But that is a thing that can save your life. So, you don't need to spend luck on this one. You back away quickly enough, and kind of the ground does give way under you there.
All right, I'll just say, be careful of the pit.
I would say that the 3 people that were nearby saw what happened and saw you kind of, do the windmill thing as you almost teetered off and stepped back.
I meant to do that.
Okay, so what are people doing now after they see Fenian kind of back away and catch his breath?
You said that by those rocks over there that there was a pathway?
No, it's a hill. It's like once you go, the hill goes down like that, right? So this wall has all collapsed here. This whole section of wall, and the stone has broken up. As it's collapsed, and a lot of it is kind of tumbled part way down the hill. So there's a huge jumble of kind of cyclopean rocks and kind of on top of each other at odd angles, and it's kind of a mess over there. But
for those of us who don't know what cyclopean rocks are,
it theoretically would then now be a way out of the castle.
Okay.
Good job securing our escape route.
If all else fails, that should be the way out, yes.
But we are still looking for the way in. Has anyone found a door?
well, what kind of eyes were those you saw in there? Were they rats or human size? Eyes, not ponies.
She didn't stick around long enough to see. She backed out real quick and backed away.
Something foul. It smelled like shit in there, and maybe blood. I saw several pair.
Yes, but were they on the ground, or were they 3 feet off the ground, or
It's
perhaps higher?
It's hard to see. I don't think they were so high.
They didn't come out after you.
No, I
Yeah,
don't.
perhaps you
I
have.
don't think so. Ah! She looks down.
Yeah, you said they didn't come out after you, and you see this big gang of the weirdest looking creatures you have ever seen. It's like a motley crew of just the strangest mutated kind of things that vaguely look bipedal, but it's just strange. And some of them have spears, and some of them do not. But they're all they all have a very bestial look about them, and it's pretty obvious that this one here is sort of at their head and leading, and they're kind of following behind them very quietly. It's like there's a kind of eerie stillness about, like, you'd expect, the way they look, you'd expect a kind of howling or something, and they just seemed like to be very silently stalking or something. And that is where we're going to have to stop, because it's 11 o'clock. And as always, anytime I run a one-shot, it's way low,
Oh, with that many people in combat, it's gonna take a rest.
Yeah. So here is my thought. I am happy to do this again and pick it up another time. I don't know if we can get everybody together, but I'm totally good to do another part of this if people want to do that.
I'm down for sure.
So I will send. So Tim, are you free next Thursday?
Yeah, that's the game night. So
Would you guys want to try for next Thursday?
Isn't Bill back next Thursday?
No, he's not. No, we're not on next Thursday.
No, Thursday I have a game.
Okay, so we'll figure out some time to do it. And if everybody can't make it, that's okay.
Yeah.
There's 5 of you with varying schedules. But yeah, we'll figure out something and go from there. Maybe even let a new person in with some people that come late from the village.
Some infirm old people.
Yeah, right. They bring their walkers. You're bring your walker to a crossbow fight. Yep.
Are we going to be able to level up since we survived the session, or does it happen
No.
until the end?
Nope. You will not level up.
We're trying to die. Okay, gotcha.
You have not accomplished your task, which is to find and or rescue the villagers. We just didn't get far enough.
What is Low Gorgon's occupation?
Oh, what is he? I've got to remember that. I think he's a sheep herder or something.
Oh, man. He's a slime ball.
Yep.
Yes, he is. Oh, I think there's a pony down there, dum-dum. Yeah. Go kill yourself. I assume his alignment is chaotic, because he is acting very chaotic in that he likes to cause mischief and chaos.
I don't even remember.
Well, if it's not, you should change it right now to chaotic, because that's sort of like.
Fair enough. It's neutral. We'll make him chaotic.
Yeah. He seems like he's a real troublemaker.
Actually, I didn't think it was certain death down there.
Well, no, but you're definitely leading people. Like, you go go in first. Go through that door. You know, that's
Just following the lead of
Yeah.
what was his? The other guy.
it's your human 10-foot pole is what it is. You're like poke the elf out front to see if there are any traps.
Well, see, now she's going to be really useful. She's going to charm all these animals.
Ooh, that's the courtesan's job. Oh, wait, it's a male court. Well, you know what? Maybe they don't care.
Well,
She's like an animal
dead,
trainer.
so
Oh, he's dead. Yeah. Oh, well. Yeah.
That was super fun.
All right. Well, thanks for playing, guys. I'm sorry we didn't get further, but that was fun.
That was fun. Good game.
All right. Talk to you
That
guys
was our
later.
first.
Have a good
Good
night.
evening.
What was that?
That was our first.
That was your first.
You never forget your first.
That's right.
Fortunately, I'm kidding.
Someday you'll know.
Yeah, we'll go with that.